It's been a long day of spilling tea and fighting crime. Hi, ugly. It's me, Bussy, and welcome back to my channel. RuPaul's Drag Race UK versus the world is over, but don't cry because it happened. Be happy that it's over. Okay, that was backwards. Don't cry because it's over, just be happy it happened. I talked a lot in my last video about like the IMDb fan reviews of UK versus the world and how it's one of the worst fan reviewed seasons, and all of that is true. I will say though, fan reviews on IMDb are not the end all be all of what people thought of Drag Race. They're fan reviews. And opinions are just like Bussy's. Everybody's got one. More importantly though is my opinion, and I loved the season for what it was. I thought it was a great display of talent, drama, and excitement, and I'm thrilled for the winner, Blue. But now it's time to spill the tea. And if you didn't know, there's this bar called Roscoe's in Chicago, and they regularly bring in all the Ru girls, and they spill the tea and behind the scenes information live in front of an audience. And they did them for UK versus the world, and I did include some of this information in a couple of my videos near the end of my Hot or Rot series for this season, but I wanted to go back through and make sure that we spilled all of the tea for every episode that was available. And also use this as an opportunity to go through and check out some of the unaired runways from our eliminated queens. Buckle up and grab a snack, because we've got quite a bit of information to go through. But first, I'm here to make one thing clear. Compromising your personal style when choosing a phone case is a rat. But with Rhino Shield's clear case, you don't have to. Let the color of your phone shine through and accessorize your clear case with swappable camera rings, button covers, and lanyards. Now that's hot. Plus express yourself even further with exclusive Rhino Shield case designs, like this Pac-Man design that I wore to an arcade. I customized it with yellow button covers, white lanyard holders, and a gray lanyard. And they've got some seriously breathtaking designs like this one that I've matched perfectly to my outfit. Rhino Shield's got a design for everyone. League of Legends fans, Van Gogh aficionados, and they've even got cases for masculine tops that love sports, whatever those are. And the best features of the clear case are the ones you can't even see. The clear case is equipped with anti-yellowing technology to keep your case clear. And it's made with Rhino Shield's patented shock spread material and exceeds the military standards of drop protection so you can death drop to your heart's desire. Yes, God! Oh, sorry, that's me. And make sure to tell them they can sleep easy with Rhino Shield's lifetime case warranty with free replacements. Got it. So what are you waiting for? Start expressing yourself today and order your Rhino Shield clear case by clicking the link in the description of this video. And make sure to use code Bussy because for the next 48 hours only, you can get 20% off your order, 10% after that. Don't wait. Use code Bussy. Thanks Rhino Shield for sponsoring today's video. Starting with episode 1. This episode was hosted with Jimbo and Lemon, and I want to quickly say thank you to AidenCR97 who did a little recap on this. Jimbo confirms that Jujubee reused her look from the All Stars 5 Entertainment Weekly cover photo shoot, and that Jujubee even admitted this herself while on set. Yeah, she did. I would never be mad at a queen for reusing a dress or garment in a situation like this, because when Juju was on All Stars 5, that was like when the pandemic was starting and they didn't get to shoot a promo. Entertainment Weekly did a little magazine special promo thing just for those queens, and like literally a third, half of that dress was ever even seen by anyone, so I'm not mad at it. I mean, of the looks she brought, like we can't be mad at that one. Once production of Canada 1 wrapped up, Jimbo and Lemon didn't actually see one another in person until filming of UK versus the world began. That makes sense. They're very different personalities. Like, you know, Drag Race is a show, they do a lot of kiki, everyone's sister, everybody's friends, but you know, that's not always true. Contestants had to perform their Royal Command variety show numbers twice. Lemon didn't practice their jump split from the box. The jump split was, quote, messy in the first run through and, quote, perfect in the second one, but production used the footage of the messy jump split in the final edit.
That was my first jump split that I did, and I didn't practice it before because I was like, if I tear a hamstring, it should happen on camera.
Save it for the camera.
So I didn't do it until that first run, and that was the one that was first. It was so messy, and I was like, I don't live. And then the second one, I literally was like, and it was actually perfect, and I was like, very interesting shot choice, editors. Very interesting shot choice.
Girl, we know they do that. It's more interesting, though, when they do 2 takes of something, because they always do 2 takes for runways, and This season of 14, they used a take of Diabetic falling on the runway for what? I don't know. She wasn't even in the bottom that week. I don't know why they even put that in there. That was weird. But concerning Lemon's little situation, it's unfortunate, but it's important to remember the edit really just is used to justify the judges' decisions. The judges didn't like decide to do that based on necessarily that take. But she was also up against basically the judges not knowing who she was, where they had prior experience with almost everyone else. I believe Janey and Lemon would have been the only two queens that had no experience with the judges, and like, oh, they ended up at the bottom. Interesting. Jimbo claims Janey was rushed for time and wasn't able to have her Royal Command performance looks fitted properly. So Janey actually talked a lot about this on the Chop podcast with Manila and Latrice. Here's a little clip of that.
Your talent show with the reveal after the reveal after the reveal wasn't as successful as I think that probably you would have wished came out.
I really want people to understand, first of all, it was a full total lockdown. Not a single shop was open, not a fabric store. It was literally going into basements of people being like, what fabrics do we have? What can we work with? How can we create something that is gonna be divided? So how can we create like black to like a neon to like maybe something more like graffiti type and then going into like sexy? Did it work out all the way? No, but that is just what I had to work with. I'm not making excuses, but I had to deal with the moment. So that was step one.
Plus, Janey also said this on the Chop where, you know, they talk about her being a little bit set up.
The lyrics in the song that the BBC had a little bit of a problem with was, I want to your on camera. So she sings like, I know you want it, you want to touch it, I want to get you in here. And then she's like, I want to go on camera. So they were advising me not to lip sync it, so they would just take it out of the music and it would just, you know, like by editing, they would make that happen. But in the end, they put the subtitles in and they spelled it out. And I was like, okay.
Okay, so they set you up. They set you up.
That's what that was.
Next, Jimbo claims that after her first run through, RuPaul yelled one more time and wanted an encore performance, which had to be done anyways. Jimbo then asked production if they could throw a piece of bologna at RuPaul on the second run through and was told to ask RuPaul during the performance. Such an iconic talent show. Just unique, special, different, and I mean, she did the damn thing. Like, that is what you should do for a talent show. Lemon claims the contestants weren't allowed to use a copyrighted song for their Royal Command performance. They were expected to make their own track or use a copyright-free jingle. So crazy what the UK queens have to do compared to US. I mean, season 14, we're over here getting Carrie Colby jump roping to Nicki Minaj. And over in the UK, they've got to make their own stuff. Which I will say, if you're on the International All-Stars season, I think it makes a lot of sense to make your own unique thing. Jujubee had a different outfit for the I'm a Winner Baby prompt, but the zip broke before the runway. Lemon describes the original look as being inspired by Mugler's white fringe dress worn by Kim Kardashian for Vogue Arabia. That's curious. Where's the dress? Where's the garment? During their one-on-one conversation after the judges' critiques, Jimbo clearly affirmed that they would never send Lemon home. Lemon claims that a producer then stepped in and asked Jimbo to add a little more mystery to the scene by acting being unsure of whose lipstick to choose. So we saw in that other little point that they hadn't even talked since filming Canada 1, or seen each other, I guess, and Jimbo still had that like deep alliance with Lemon there just because they were Canadian sisters, and I think that's really special. Jimbo literally every lip sync. What do you think, iPhone? What do you think, bottle of water? What should we do? We should drink you. Drinky, drinky. So there was the fun tea for episode 1. Let's move into episode 2. Let's go ahead and break it up and start with the Unaired Runways, which of course is just Lemon's bitch. As we will see in this video, she brought the mother tucking looks. It is such a crime that she did not get to show these off on the runway. They are so beautiful. First one, we got Kitty Girl, gorgeous, perfect, dripping in leopard. Purse first, the headband, it's beautiful. Butch Queen look, also gorgeous from Lemon. This is a kind of classic thing, tucks in the front, party in the back, some chains back there. I also like that these weren't yellow, like all yellow, because her episode 1 was so yellow branded, which like I think was cute overall to have that, but then it did kind of suck that like everything she showed episode 1 was yellow. It's chocolate. Episode 2 was not hosted by a UK versus the World Queen, so we're gonna move into episode 3. This one had Jujubee and Shea Coulee. Juju claims that after a filmed portion of a Rusical rehearsal wraps, contestants are given more time to prepare, but not as much as you would think. Although Shea adds that production will allow contestants to remain on set to rehearse if they so desire. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's like really tight turnarounds, and we can tell, and you know, UK season 3 was filmed in a day. Willem. Juju confirms that UK vs. the World was filmed in March of 2021, with Queen of the Universe being shot later on in the year. That was the funny thing with Juju being in both of these, and then the release schedule being reversed. Because it was like rumored, everybody knew she was gonna be on UK vs. the World, and then all of a sudden she's on this Queens of the Universe thing, and then she didn't go very far, so I was like, what's going on? It actually surprised me that she got to the finale, but then they still let her do Queens of the Universe. According to Juju, the contestants only performed their West End Windy segment once. They were also only allowed to watch the rehearsals and not the final performances of others, although Juju confirms that she got to see the person before her while she was getting ready.
Did you get to watch each other do your numbers? And how many times did you have to do them?
Did we do it once? I think it was one run through, and I only got to see the person before me. We got to see rehearsals, but it was really like we were just working on our own shit while
the previous person was there, for sure.
And we don't even know if like the order that they aired them in was the order that they actually filmed them in. And it also brings up some interesting questions, I think, for how the queens voted that week. Interesting. I mean, they just basically went off what? The judges' feedback? We know that's what Pangina did. Like, she's on record saying that she voted both times based on what the judges said. And that is true. I have some extra tea for you though. Janey was doing some interviews. She seemed to suggest that her and Pangina had a little secret alliance in like episode 1, and also talked about how they didn't really air her and Pangina's friendship. We also had Pangina talking about how Lemon shouldn't have been in the bottom 2 the first episode, and she has said that several different times, but she never said that about Janey. So, you know, it was an interesting elimination choice there for her that first episode. They made good TV, that's all I'll say. Juju says that she formed a connection with Pangina while on set, and they communicated in Laotian and Thai, as the two languages are linguistically similar. Ooh, more secret alliances. I mean, like, it seemed like Pangina was friendly with everybody on the season, but yeah, missing that piece and then missing the piece with Janey is like really interesting there. Interesting editing choices. Okay, now for the unaired runways for this episode. We've got Lemon's ... Okay, this is literally Denali's runway, because Denali's was unaired as well. I wonder if it was the same designer. Alien design, it's really cute, very hot. I mean, we were robbed of not seeing her runway. Cheryl's, there are dots. It's a fine runway. I mean, it's not, you know, breathtaking or unique, or it doesn't even really say a lot, but I think it's a cute look. Skirt length's a little matronly. It's right. Episode 4, hosted with special guest Blue Hydrangea, Cheryl, Hole, and Mo Hart. Again, thank you so much to Aiden CR97 on Reddit, who did these little recaps with timestamps, so helpful. Mo agrees with Pangina's decision to eliminate Jimbo after episode 3's Rusical challenge, while Blue disagrees. I mean, very clearly the judges were trying to set up that Jujubee wasn't doing so hot, alongside somebody who clearly did do the worst. I mean, Jimbo's Rusical wasn't good. There's no excusing that. And there's also no hiding that, really, either. She was a bad little doggy. Blue claims that after Janey was declared the winner of episode 2's top 2 lip sync, Jimbo deliberately fell backwards and landed flat on her back. What the f? Presumably as a joke reaction to losing the top 2 lip syncs in a row. Blue also claims that Jimbo's wig came off and that her lipstick flew. What the f is this? This sounds like a fanfic. According to Blue, this incident gave some validity to Jimbo's claim of having a sore neck the following episode. There's so much unaired Jimbo shenanigans. She's so funny. Okay. In a press week video for Attitude magazine, Jimbo and Mo allude to a fight that happened between them while on set. Jimbo expresses her desire for the interaction to be included in the final cut, and that would have been in the Attitude thing. And then in this tea spilling session, Mo confirms that an altercation between herself and Jimbo almost took place after a sincere discussion in the workroom.
I think we had talked about sex and different things like that, and I had opened up about my past life during the struggle survival days, and Jimbo made a joke trying to tie me into it, but said it about my mother. The hood rat in me wanted to hit that bitch dead in her throat, but the black working Oprah Tyler Perry professional in me just looked at that bitch and said, don't try no smooth shit, because I will end you. They all were in the workroom like,
yeah, it was intense.
Mo was not playing around this season. Like, she was very clearly there to compete, to do well, and like not deal with any of the shenanigans. Jimbo claims the editors did her a service by leaving out her entire reaction to being placed in the bottom 2 and being eliminated. Jimbo claims that she screamed from the bottom of her soul and that she generally behaved in a manner that made her look absolutely unhinged and psychotic. She talked about screaming so loud because she wanted Pangina to hear it. We went over that hot or rot, y'all already know. Blue states that Rupaul was, quote, not having including the fact that she wanted to play an actor, Mike Myers, as their characters.
Rue, at the start, was like not having the fact that I was playing a character or an actor as a character, and was really trying to throw me and be like, what would Mike Myers say in this situation? And I'm like, I don't know. Just make some shit up.
I don't think that the judges expected Blue Snatch Game to go so well. And I think there's a lot that they can do in the edit as far as improving or, you know, making something funnier than it is or not funnier than it actually was. However, if someone is so good that they can't edit it to be bad, I mean, I don't know. That was just the read I got while watching the episode, because that's interesting, like the interactions with Rue, and then going against what Rue says, you know Rue does not like that. She does not play that, mother. Blue states that her outfit change from Awesome Powers to Dr. Evil took 3 seconds. Blue also confirms that she kept the character switcheroo a secret from the other contestants in RuPaul. That's risky, but worth it. Batty claims that Jujubee informed her that the designer she commissioned to create her ... and Luck Be a Lady looks did not come through with finished garments, and that Jujubee was required to improvise as a result.
She did say last week that she had 3 designers. 2 designers were doing, one was the kitty and one was the ... look. Both of those designers had like flopped and they did not allow for the actual garment to come through, so she had to figure out what to do. Everything else she said that she had planned.
Which is interesting because that's a little conflicting from what we heard from the lemon tea spill thing in episode 1 about the first runway. What's the truth? Jujubee, let us know. That was their episode 4 recap. Now let's check out the unaired runways. This was Luck Be a Lady. Lemon's so gorgeous. She's giving us a little like burlesque Vegas kind of fantasy. It's great. It's such a cute look from Lemon. I love, again, that it's not yellow. Ooh, okay, Jimbo's. I've actually seen this one so adorable, campy too. Like there's a good amount of camp here. I don't like the jackpot on the back or the dollar signs. I hate when there's just like words on a dress or a cape like that. Not for me. The dice on the front, fine. Campy and fun. Jimbo's glow up from Canada season 1. I don't know if y'all remember, but that makeup has elevated. Miss Cheryl Hole, what do we have here? This is literally Pangina's look, except not quite as avant-garde. What is this Photoshop? Oh my god, she like photoshopped her face on there. Stop. Why didn't she just take a real photo of it? What is that? I really like Cheryl. I don't want y'all to think I don't like her or anything. Not everyone's a fashion girl, and that's totally fine. Girl, I'm not. I think had she also done something with the legs, this could have been good. Maybe a little fascinator was planned as well. We don't have the full look here as is. Rot, it's really just a not as good version as Pangina's. And episode 5 with special guest Pangina Heels and Roxy Andrews. I mean, obviously Roxy is not gonna have any tea on UK versus the world. I love Roxy though. Ready wrote you? Simply iconic. My name's Roxy Andrews and I'm here to make it clear. Pangina reveals that she originally, quote, didn't want to have a strategy in regard to eliminations and clarifies that she wanted to view the performance of each contestant in the given challenge for herself and also consider the judges' critiques when making her decision. So, as we know, we've heard that from Pangina over and over and over. She was listening to what the judges were saying, and I think she really took everything the judges said, maybe like so literally, and that's the result that we get, you know, Jimbo being eliminated and stuff, which Jimbo was the worst at challenge. Again, I'm not trying to debate that. But let me pose this scenario. You're a judge on another franchise of Drag Race, and you go against what the judges are saying on this one, probably wouldn't look too good on you. Pangina claims that UK versus the World contestants were specifically prompted to impersonate, quote, non-fictional, real-life individuals for Snatch Game.
Did you have any other characters that you had planned instead if Mariah Carey was a no?
We were supposed to do non-fictional characters and not even like characters from movies. But maybe I just read whatever was given to me too clearly. But I was supposed to do Art Aria. That was like my other option. But then Art said, no one knows who I am. So I was like, okay.
I am not sure that Art Aria would have gone over well. I liked her Mariah. Like, it was fine. She just ran out of material, it seemed, halfway through. But that, of course, does, again, bring into question with, like, Baga and Blue. I mean, they kind of broke the rules. But, like, maybe they knew that they could break the rules, and they just took advantage of that. Pangina reveals she has received the biggest opportunity, and one she's not supposed to talk about, informing music video. She's in an Ava Max video. That's so awesome for her. Congrats, Miss Pangina. I know she's watching. And let's end with some episode 5 unaired runways. Okay, Cheryl Holes. Work of art. She's a telephone with a red lobster on it? Miss Cheryl Hole, what is this? I'm a fucking lobster. Inspiration lobster telephones. That's Dali also? By Edward James and Dali. I didn't know Dali did sculpture. The more you know. Wow, thank you for that education. It's done well. It's a very literal take on the art, and I think that's totally fine. And I think she looks great in it. Cool. Cool, bro. Jimbo's. Oh, fuck. Jimbo's is so okay, Jimbo's art reference is, I have such an incredible community of artists, makers, and designers around me. I want to make a look to showcase some of the work of some of these incredible people. Wow. Okay, so, I mean, this look is show-stopping, jaw-dropping, breathtaking. Congrats on everyone that worked on that. And I'm so sorry that did not get to be shown on the finale. Other unaireds? Lemon's work of art. Oh, so gorgeous. I love all the versatility that Lemon was gonna be bringing. So she's doing a classic art inspired by Dancer by Degas. It's simple, it's refined. The corsetry on this little ballet piece is Lemon, this is beautiful. I feel like a sweaty pig next to this. And Pangina's. Okay, what I had planned for my work of art runway, wanted to do a fashion avant-garde take as an embodiment of art itself, inspired by Schiaparelli infused with Thai culture, based on Thai traditional characters on temple paintings. Wow. I love the hair, the mask, the eyeball, and the mouth. The little pendants everywhere. I love that it's like a little gender bendy. I mean, again, breathtaking. Pangina also really killed the runways this season. Their hot look. Who's surprised? Not me. So, ooh, wow. Okay, hottest hot from all these looks that we've seen. Just prefacing, it's really difficult to assess looks on Instagram. They're photoshopped. They are the best that they possibly could look. But I think I've gotta go with Jimbo's work of art runway. It's up there. Lemon's Kitty Girl, also up there. And then finally, probably Pangina's work of art. Fabulous looks. And don't forget, you can join my Patreon by clicking the link in the description of this video to get exclusive member benefits like early access to my videos, access to exclusive videos, access to the Bussy Queen Discord server, and more. See you there. But that's all the tea I have for y'all from these Roscoe tea spilling viewing parties. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me know if you liked this little more casual, fun video, and maybe we can do something like this again in the future together if you want to. As always, I want to say thanks to you for watching today's video. Today's video sponsor, Rhino Shield, who you can check out using the link in the description of this video, and make sure to use code Bussy to get 20% off for just a couple more days. And of course, I want to say thanks to my generous patrons who make my channel possible, and give a special shout out to Angel, Cyrus, Dark-Sided Otter, Dicky, Felicia, Hector Simancas, JB Jeffrey, Joseph Josh Marchant, JP in Dallas, Laura Lisette, Mark James, Matthew Burns, Matthew Bauer, Maxie LaWow, Miss F, Neely, Ryan Beats, Sailor, Steven, Tom Jago, Tom Young, Topher, Triton, and Yeeji, who are all supporting me at my Bussy Queen Collector tier. See you later. Love ya.